Welcome to this year's Armin Awards, one of my favorite events of the year. Anyone who knows me has heard me say that I absolutely love this time of year. April is the month of student celebrations, all kinds of ceremonies to bestow all kinds of awards, and of course, it's all topped off with commencement. April 29th, by the way, 1 week from today. Yay! Anyone who knows me has also heard me say that this time of the year makes me particularly reflective. I can't help it, I'm just that way. My thoughts this year have been centering around the theme of generosity. The noted British playwright Tom Stoppard said, "Obviously, you would give your life for your children, or give them the last biscuit on your plate. But to me, the trick in life is to take that sense of generosity between kin, make it apply to the extended family and to your neighbor, your village, and beyond." Today, we celebrate that very kind of generosity. For example, the generosity of our faculty, who gladly made the extra effort, and it is extra effort, to incorporate service into our students' experiences to make their learning even more meaningful and even more memorable. Would you please join me in thanking the faculty who are here today? We also celebrate and offer our sincere appreciation to Armin Omedian, whose generosity has created this very event and serves as an example to GRCC staff, faculty, and students. Would you also please join me in thanking Mr. Armin Omedian? Finally, we celebrate our students. Through their service learning experiences, our students have had the importance and the value of generosity reinforced. Let's also thank our students who are here today. I hope that both we and they, all of us, leave here today inspired to be generous, not only in our actions, but also in our thoughts. In today's world, it is perhaps the latter that is the most difficult and the most needful. Thank you and enjoy this wonderful event.
So I've had the pleasure of being involved with the Armin Awards now for 6 years, and the main reason why this event has been so successful is directly related to the vision and support of Mr. Armin Omedian. And for those of you who are unfamiliar with the Armin Awards, I'll quickly just share the awards, or what the awards are about, and essentially they're two pieces, and that's collaboration and impact. Faculty are provided an opportunity to choose a course, choose a partner, create a service experience for students, teach and implement the service project, and measure the impact. The top 3 teams that do this the best are rewarded. It sounds simple, but by far very challenging. And for the last 4 years, 25 faculty have participated in the awards, and I would like to take just a brief moment to share some of those projects.
For 4 years, the Armin Awards have inspired best practices for teaching and learning at GRCC. Through service learning, teams of students and faculty have partnered with the Grand Rapids community to create real, innovative, and meaningful impact. Psychology students have impacted lives at Family Promise by donating their time, making meals, and organizing donations. English students have helped fourth graders develop a lifelong relationship with reading by sharing a book with Grand Rapids kids. Personal health students have connected with the loved ones of cancer patients by creating nutritional meals at American Cancer Society. Automotive students have impacted lives at Mel Trotter Ministries by creating an auto clinic for those in need. Journalism students have brought dignity to end-of-life care through the powerful storytelling of those in Hospice of Michigan. Fashion students have used their skills in a sewing class to create comforting quilts for chemotherapy patients at the Lemon Holton Cancer Pavilion. Nothing brings together learning and community impact like the Armin Awards. Over the years, 25 service learning projects have resulted in meaningful learning and countless Grand Rapids lives changed. Thank you for being a part of the Grand Rapids Community College Armin Awards.
So why do faculty choose to participate in the Armin Awards? Some faculty participate for the challenge, but all of them do this for the students. The impact this experience will have on them will last far beyond the time spent in their classes. When you sat down on your seats this afternoon, you probably noticed some materials, and some of them are on your tables as well. These materials are provided to you to showcase the work of each of the projects and community partners. And I just want to briefly highlight each of the service learning projects today. So by a show of hands, how many of you speak more than one language? Okay. And how many of you happen to speak computer? We got a couple. We got a class for you. So this new language of the future, and students from Katie Vandermeer's Introduction to Computer Programming mentored over 100 fifth graders, helping them to learn the ABCs of computer programming, a new language. And what do you do when you're fed up with an invasive plant species, thinking they could just come into our state and just grow wherever they want? That's right. You form a gang. And that's exactly what the students in Lauren Elliott's Introduction to Biology class did. They formed the Guardian Gang, educating themselves and others on non-evasive or evasive vegetation. And what's a quilt? A bunch of random patterned squares sewn together? Or perhaps it's a gift of warmth, of comfort and healing, a source of remembrance of a chapter in one's life. Students in Margie Erlinson's fashion design course applied the principles of sewing to purposely tailor a unique quilt specifically designed for those receiving care at the Lemon Holton Cancer Pavilion. And how many of you were aware that there are two styles of eating your food at a restaurant? There's the American, and then there's the continental. Both methods focus on the proper use of the knife and fork. And I don't use either one of them very well. So students in Holly Van Ryan's Restaurant Leadership and Management course created a formal etiquette dinner for local youth. The youth not only learned about etiquette, but they also learned about the world of culinary arts and simply what it's like being a college student. And who knew a crime scene could be such a teachable moment? Students in Lee Kleinert's General Human Anatomy and Physiology course helped online high school students to solve a crime by analyzing DNA. Who knew we had such a sophisticated crime lab here at GRCC? And before we go ahead and showcase our videos, I want to quickly just introduce our judges this afternoon. And these are the people that had the tough task of determining the top 3 teams this year, now for the last 4 years. And so we have Jane Royer from the Grand Rapids Community Foundation with us, Chris Wilson, an independent nonprofit consultant, Karen McKnight Casey, retired director of the Center for Service Learning and Civic Engagement at Michigan State University, And we also have Katie Daniels, curriculum specialist here at GRCC, who is unable to be with us this afternoon. So faculty were asked to submit a written report describing the service learning project and how they successfully partnered with an organization resulting in students meeting course outcomes and community partner impact. Judges then came together, sharing their scores and ultimately determining the top 3 teams. And so with our media services crew, as usual, put together some very nice videos for you. And so let's just take a moment to look at our first video, which is Lauren Elliott.
For the service learning project that I did with my Biology 101 class, we partnered with Blandford Nature Center. And their focus is to educate and engage the community to become stewards of the environment.
This class was much different than any other class I've taken at GRCC because I actually got to get involved with my community. When we went to Blandford Nature Center, we removed an invasive species known as common buckthorn.
So I wanted to introduce my students to invasive species, which are species that are not native, and when they're introduced to an area, they can cause harm.
Before in class, we kind of just learn about it and we just go over the topics. We know it's bad, but we don't really understand why it's bad. So when we got to go to Blandford Nature Center and actually remove the species and see what an effect it can do, it's very beneficial, I think.
Community Science Day was a way to introduce science topics to our community. So my group, the GRCC Guardian Gang, got together and introduced invasive species to kids and their families. We had a representative of Blandford Nature Center to introduce how they could help at Blandford Nature Center and other areas.
Service learning was very beneficial because we actually got to go out and get involved with invasive species.
It was a great experience for the students to get outside and actually see what invasive species can do to the environment.
At this time, I'd like to invite up to the podium a familiar face, Associate Dean of Arts and Science, Bill Faber, who's going to share with us a little bit about how this project impacted Blandford Nature Center.
I think I am an honorary member now of the Guardian Gang. So I'm here on behalf of Jessie Schulte. She's the Stewardship and Volunteer Coordinator at Blandford, and Happy Earth Day. She is at Blandford today with 70 volunteers doing similar type work. Blandford is a nature center in the middle of Grand Rapids. It's 143 acres, and that property is managed by volunteers and people like Haley and Riley, and coming from Lauren's class. We can't do our work without their help. And Lauren mentioned this briefly, but the mission of Blandford is to educate, engage, and empower our community to become stewards of the natural world. And if you think about this, it aligns so well with the community college mission. We educate, so Lauren teaches Bio 101, an ecology class with invasive species. She engaged her students. She took them out to Blandford to remove that buckthorn. It's an invasive species, and it messes with frog embryos. Gives off a chemical called amodin, and I like frogs. And so it's great that we have these opportunities. And hopefully it empowers people to come out and continue to do that work. So one of the questions I was given, and I know I have a minute, is would we do this again? And so my question to you is, did you remove all the buckthorn? You didn't. So I had an answer, a reply, whether you said yes or no. But I know you didn't. But when you do complete that, we have lots of garlic mustard to be removed as well. So we thank you, and the partnership was wonderful. And again, you're all welcome to come out and become invasive species removers. We're on a bus route, number 7. So thank you.
Oh, got to get that buckthorn. Our next video is going to feature Holly Van Ryan.
I was part of the restaurant management and leadership class as part of SECIA's Institute for Culinary Education here at GRCC. And we had an opportunity to participate in a service learning project that involved the Baxter Community Center.
They worked as a group to plan a etiquette dinner for students that are in a mentoring program at Baxter Community Center. One of the things that it's meeting is basically students are trying to learn how to plan an event and run a restaurant and serve a multi-course meal. And this meets that perfectly. It's very curricular in that sense.
Expose them to a formal dining situation, how to utilize the table settings, how to behave in a professional way in a formal dining situation. Also to learn a little bit about a culinary career.
Teaching someone is the highest level of learning. So they take what I give them in class, but then they take it further and they understand it more. And they teach it to students who have never heard of some of these concepts.
The work that we did with the students preparing for the actual dinner event that we had, having an opportunity to teach it really helps us to remember it and to apply it better.
The Baxter mentees really appreciate it, but I think that my students appreciate more from what they've given and what they've learned. So it's pretty special.
I'd like to invite up Sharon LaChapelle, who works at Baxter Community Center, to say a couple of words.
All right, it's such a pleasure to be here today and be part of this annual forum, and just want to thank the Arman family. Who would have guessed that a phone call in 2008 to inquire about fine dining for my students at Baxter would turn into 8 years of an amazing service learning experience with awesome students and staff from the SECIA Institute for Culinary Arts and Education. Professor Audrey Heckwith took my call that day 8 years ago, and after talking with her, it was apparent that I wasn't going to be able to afford, at least not right away, the type of fine dining that the Heritage is known for. But before we said goodbye, Audrey asked me to describe the program. About 3 months later, I received a call on a Friday night. It was Professor Heckwith. She said that she had written a grant for our students to engage with her in a fine dining learning experience, and wondered if I could set up reservations for that year. So there was 8 reservations that first year. And of course I could. During the last 8 years, our learning experience has been beyond exceptional. The teaching staff at the culinary school has passed the baton seamlessly to keep our partnership alive. Professor Heckwith began teaching in another area of the culinary school, and in her absence, a few adjunct professors caught the vision with Audrey's and Dan Gelder's encouragement. When Professor Holly Van Ryan stepped into the assistant professor position, she championed the vision in the same loving and enthusiastic spirit that it was born out of. And here we are today celebrating. I just want to say thank you, Holly Van Ryan, for putting so much energy into this partnership and for working hard to put this piece together for the Arman Award contest. And I want to tell you, so how does this learning project work? Well, or service learning project work. In a nutshell, culinary students are offered the opportunity to take part in the partnership. They visit Baxter for an orientation and a tour. Later, Baxter students come to learn and dine at the Heritage. And after, we, the students at Baxter and myself, find creative ways to share what we have learned. There's so much inspiration and learning that happens with this partnership that it's really hard to capture it in a few minutes. My students are achieving well academically and find themselves in formal interview situations, networking events, and on nerve-wracking prom or first dates. Those situations can be very intimidating, but because of this learning project, they will not have the added stress of being unsure of which spoon or fork to use or what to do with the napkin. Additionally, they learn from culinary students that not all journeys to careers are straight paths. Some students are in business or some students started in business or advertising or engineering and then decided that wasn't for them, and the culinary program was. But nothing was wasted because their prior studies complemented their culinary studies, and others always knew that they wanted to be in the culinary world. Students from the culinary school teach us what they have learned. They work as a team to provide us with what I can only describe as a magical, Cinderella, presidential, VIP night of learning and delighting our taste buds. Every Heritage student teaching group has been amazing. In addition, Heritage students have been inspired to volunteer with us at Baxter and have done product drives for our marketplace and the pantry as well. Each time we engage, it is a blessing. I see the way that we are all growing from our partnership together. One night during fine dining, one of our students had his eyes closed, and he was just taking it all in. And I asked him, "What's going on?" And he said, "I'm just locking this feeling in and picturing it in my mind forever because I feel like," someone's gonna make me cry. "I feel like the president right now." Over the years, we've invited other youth programs to take part in this learning project with us. And although I don't want to say exactly how we will evolve, we are exploring other ideas that will engage Baxter staff and the college in ways that we've never done before. In closing, I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of mine and all my students' hearts. This is ridiculous. Okay. All my students' hearts, and to the students and staff at the Sequia Institute for your vision, passion, energy, and love, which is the secret ingredient. Thank you so much, and God bless.
The next video that we're going to show is for Margie Erlinson.
Our project was to make a quilt out of our own original design. We had to piece it together, what we were going to do, and then we were presenting the quilts to cancer patients at the Lemon Holton Cancer Pavilion.
I decided to have my sewing students make quilts, which they can use their new sewing skills, their design skills, of the elements and principles of design and color theory. I'm a cancer survivor, and I wanted to do something to give back to those that helped me through my cancer treatment.
The class I definitely got a lot of sewing experience out of, which was really great. But just the experience of seeing them get that quilt, that was really cool to see, just how it turned their day around.
Tears of joy and gratitude, and for some of them too, they talked about how they lost a relative, and it just brought to mind that relative. And so it's been a good thing, and Lemon Holton said they hope we don't stop doing it. They appreciate it that much. So
it was a really fun experience, and I think it's really awesome that they do this for us and give us this chance to give back to someone else through our learning process. Someone else benefited from my taking the class, and I think that that's really cool that they incorporate that.
I'm very, very proud of them. I am. I really am.
And so I'm going to ask Kim Moore to come up from the Lemon Holton Cancer Pavilion to say a few words.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for having us here. I'm going to try to keep it together, but I don't know. I understand. When Margie Erlichson and her students decided to partner with Spectrum Health Cancer Center to create some of the most beautiful and unique quilts I've ever seen, the act was both selfless and compassionate. The students were able to present the quilts to our patients who were at various different stages of their journey. And they were overjoyed to the point of tears, as you could see. and completely touched by their kindness, and that someone could be so kind to someone that didn't know them. So, as the largest cancer care provider in the region, Spectrum Health has over 150 cancer specialists and nearly 600 employees specially trained in cancer care. We support our patients through their cancer journey, in addition to offering the beautiful quilts that Margie and her students created. We provide an array of supportive care services such as music and art therapy, yoga, cooking, nutrition classes, rehab, a variety of services. And to get something just so from the heart for our patients, words can't really express the gratitude that we have for Margie and her students and everything that they've done. We're so looking forward to our upcoming quilt presentation, which is happening next week. And we're looking to grow our partnership further through the years. Again, on behalf of our staff and our patients, I'd like to thank you again for all the love and support that you've given. And if you could, take a moment to look at the beautiful quilts that they've developed. They're on various tables, and each one of them has a unique story, and they are truly remarkable. Thank you.
Our last video is going to feature Katie Vandermeer.
So I teach general human anatomy and physiology. It's a one-semester study of the entire structure and function of the human body. So my students partnered with Jennison International Academy, one classroom, a biology classroom of these high school students, and invited them to come to GRCC because these biology students do all of their classes online and they have no hands-on laboratory experiences. So my students created hands-on laboratory experience for them.
In that lab, we taught them about how DNA works and what it does for the body and how it's used basically, and they loved it.
So it was a lab about what DNA is and where it comes from and what the function is. And it was a very fun activity and application about DNA fingerprinting.
Doing a class like this, it's a lot more fun, and it gives those students who may not have the opportunity to go to class like we do, the opportunity to learn in a classroom environment when they don't normally. I feel like this way it's a lot better.
They have gained this confidence to say, I can do this. I can do a good job in science. Look at this. I've gone and I've taught other people about science, and I've achieved this level of understanding.
I think this is a really great experience, and I think that a few times in a semester even, I feel like everyone should be doing a surface learning project.
So that wasn't Katie Vandermeer. I'm going to invite up Kristen Graham from the Jennison International Academy.
It's a pleasure to be here. Jennison International Academy is an initiative of Jennison Public Schools. In 2010, they wanted to provide more pathways for students that might find the classroom in its traditional form to be difficult, or that couldn't go to the traditional classroom because they have health issues. So there's just a variety of students that attend our fully online academy for students grades 1 through 12. About 3 years ago, we're looking at the biology curriculum and thinking to ourselves, we need something else. You know, we have instructional sessions for students online, but there's a hands-on component to science that you just can't replace. And GRCC opened us with welcome arms to start a program where once for each semester, we come on campus and they complete a biology lab. And I just can't tell you how much the students enjoy it. And I love that they work with college students because they kind of get a glimpse of their future, what their future might be being a college student. So there's just so many kind of hidden benefits to it as well. The spring lab is my favorite, the one that you just saw, the DNA lab. They get to take some sample DNA and use gel electrophoresis to figure out a crime scene. And just that little element of mystery to them, they find very enjoyable. And it's just been a pleasure to see them in a hands-on atmosphere. It's really been our initiative to provide a comprehensive learning experience for students that generally do most of their classwork online. So we just so appreciate GRCC's willingness to offer this. Thank you so much to Lee, who spends a ton of time setting up the lab, getting students to come to the lab. Our biology teacher, Chris Remley, who works with our students because they're in 7 different counties. There's a lot of communication that goes into getting all of them into one place. So we just enjoy that opportunity to learn face-to-face with our students who are normally used to learning a little bit more individually. So thank you so much to GRCC for offering the opportunities and the privileges and their labs and the supplies and everything else that really benefits our Jenison students. Thank you.
I'm pretty sure this is the last video. Katie Vandermeer.
My service learning project was to take my Intro to Programming students in CIS 116 and have them work with 5th graders at Orchard View Elementary School to teach them computer programming.
It's more than just being in a classroom and listening to lectures or going through exercises. You're really going out into the real world and being able to share what you're learning with other people and being able to see it at work in the classroom.
The purpose of the service learning project was really to build computer science education awareness in the K-12 system. One of the benefits of the 10 students who participated in service learning this semester was that they were able to reinforce the concepts that they were learning in class by teaching 5th graders, 10 and 11-year-olds how to code.
Coding is really something new to me. To be able to explain those things to a 5th grader really takes a whole different level of understanding. Get that really thorough explanation, but at a level that a 5th grader can understand it. You know, that's not so easy to do. So that really cemented in some of the concepts that I was learning in class.
When you build a foundation of computer science with young children, they're going to bring that into their adulthood in an area that's much needed, especially in this area of West Michigan. Hopefully these students will come to GRCC when they grow up. They'll remember our program and our interaction with them and the fun things that we do here at Grand Rapids Community College.
So I'm going to invite Lori Gibson, who's going to share a little bit about her involvement through Orchard View Elementary.
Hello, it's so nice to be here. So when Katie approached us at Orchard View Elementary, wondering if we'd be interested in this partnership, of course we said yes. We hoped that it would be a great learning experience from our students. We hoped that the college students would bring and possess the knowledge that they could present the subject matter to our students in a meaningful and accessible way. And we got just that and more. It was very impactful for our students. It impacted them in several ways. The first is just the concept of coding. 5th graders, not every single one of them are that familiar with what coding is and what that means. And through this experience, there are several who have a real interest. Several of my students daily will say, hey, can we code today? And I can't let them code every day, but they want to, and that is a result of this experience. The other really great thing about this was seeing the college students serve as role models as they were sharing their expertise with the younger students. They were excited to get that knowledge from older students, and they did a great job in doing that. You saw bits and pieces of the Makey Makey episode on Saturday morning that was offered to our students. They really, really enjoyed that. When I talked to my students today before coming here, that's what they said. It was a very engaging, fun day for the students. Very hands-on way to interact with technology, and they got to create and make things. And that is what you like to see as an educator, that your kids are able to do. The Saturday morning, they volunteered their time to come in and do that. And not only was that fun for the kids, it gave them something to be involved in on a Saturday morning. And some of those kids that showed up might not have had something else to do on a Saturday morning. So it was very nice. We, all in all, think it has been a great experience for our students. Are so appreciative of the time and the energy put forth by Katie and her students, and very thankful that we had that opportunity. Thank you.
So Katie Vandermeer has actually prepared a brief demonstration of her service learning project, and I think you have a few helpers. We got one? Okay. This is good.
Yeah, we'll start. I'll put my teacher voice on, or not. Hold on one second, you want to stand right there. Our service learning project was twofold, as we heard from Lori. We went into the classroom first and taught students computer programming, and then we decided to do a little bit more, so we developed a Saturday workshop. We called it a Makey Makey Technology Workshop. This is a Makey Makey. It's just a little invention kit that allows children to kind of explore. And how this ties into programming is that they're able to code a program and then use a Makey Makey to connect to their program to control the options. So we have Owen Danko here from 6th grader at Orchard View. Hi, Owen. And Owen is going to demonstrate how the Makey Makey works. And we also need somebody who is willing to dance with us. Come on. Miss Rosa.
Wait.
You can wait for a second. We're going to have Owen go first, and then you can challenge Owen to this dance-off.
And Drew, you do have dancing skills?
Okay. Oh, we got to go to our website over here. We need to get on. Yes. This also has science benefits, too. So. So see what his score is. Is it sideways? No one else is pressing the arrow keys, Owen. Go! Go! Amazing. Oh, and what was your score? All right. Does it? Okay, we'll see how Mr. Rosema does here. We'll do a hard song for him. We'll do like a level 6. No, we'll stay. Okay, level 40. No. Oh, why is it doing that? Oh, wait, Drew, we're not ready. Unless you really want to do level 44. Hold on. Drew's prepared his whole life for this moment, you guys. He really has. Ready? Go. 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 And who won? A win. No, we can't try again right now. So thank you very much. Anyone else wants to try, you can stay later.
Yeah. Well, we'll have a competition after the event. Thank you, Drew. That was very impressive. Took the coat off. All right, so here we go. The third place prize is $750. Second place prize is $1,500. And the first place prize, $3,000. And so at this time, I'd like to invite up to the front of the stage Mr. Armin Omedian, Julie Odie for the award presentation, along with Melanie Sheely-Gady, Andrew Rosema, Sarah Krajewski to announce the winners of the 2016 Armin Awards.
So I'm honored to stand before you to present the third place award. But before that, I want to share some quotes. The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. And that's by Gandhi. Love cannot remain by itself. It has no meaning. Love has to be put into action, and that action is service. And that is by Mother Teresa. My name is Melanie Sheely Gady, and I'm a professor in the exercise science department. I had the honor of participating in the Armin Awards in 2013, and my principals of physical education class students and our community partner, East Leonard Elementary School, were part of a project called Oregon Wise Guys. This partnership was also collaborated with Michigan State University Extension and the Kent County Health Department. The Oregon Wise Guys program taught kindergarten through fifth graders lesson plans on physical activity, nutrition, and basic anatomy and health concepts. Our team was honored with the second place Armin Award, and all the winnings allowed us to continue the Oregon Wise Guys program, and East Leonard Elementary was also able to buy some physical education equipment that was much needed. More importantly though, this project connected us with a community partner where we could make a difference in educating the school and the children the importance of health, nutrition, and physical activity. Not just making a difference though in their health, but also impacting how they did in school overall. They were more focused, there was less distractions in the class, less anxiety and stress. They were able to learn better. So truly, their bodies and their brains were working more positively for them. Pretty awesome. So first of all, Armin, I want to thank you for this awesome event, and GRCC and the GRCC students for making a difference. It is my pleasure now to announce the third place Armin Award, and I don't even know who it is, so this is a surprise to me too. I gotta rip it open, so this is so cool. Okay, here we go. Third place goes to Lee Kleinhart in the Jenison International Academy.
Hi there. My name is Drew Rosema. In addition to playing the occasional game of Dance Dance Revolution, my mobile applications and security class last year had the privilege of working a service learning project with the Grand Rapids Festival of the Arts. As I understand, it's still the world's largest all-volunteer art and music festival, coming up here in another couple of months. Just a little plug. And while we didn't officially win, we were the first runner-up. And I thought it was an excellent project. It lives on today. Those students still to this day talk about the experience of actually reaching out. And if you haven't downloaded it, folks, they love to be able to pull it out and show it on their phones, which is one of the real-world effects that service learning can have for students, that they can show something that really impacts the really real world, not just something in a grade book, not just some assignment they handed in, something that actually hit home and did something. So that said, it's my privilege and honor to announce the new First runner-up in the Armin Awards competition. Second place this year goes to, you guys nervous? Holly and the Baxter Community Center.
Hello everybody, I'm Sarah Krajewski, and I had the honor of participating in the 2014 Armin Awards, along with my community partner, Immaculate Heart of Mary School. And my Biology 101 for Educators class designed lesson plans and taught science lessons to a variety of different age groups. So I want to tell you, thank you, Armin. We are still continuing our relationship with Immaculate Heart of Mary School. So every semester, students are going in and teaching science lessons, and it's a great experience, so thank you. And we won first place in 2014. So I get to announce the first place winner, and I have not looked yet. Isn't this exciting? Okay. First place winner of the 2016 GRCC Armin Awards is Katie Vandermeer and Orchard View Elementary.
So I want to thank the faculty, I want to thank the students, the community partners for your willingness to go above and beyond. All of you rose to the challenge, and we are very proud of what your teams were able to accomplish this year. And so if you are a faculty member interested in next year's Armin Awards, the planning begins now, begins today. And so feel free to call me, email me, follow up with me, contact me, whatever you got to do. Makey, whatever, we're gonna dance. I want to give a special thanks to our judges for the Armin Awards. I especially want to thank Armin Omedian for your generosity, your eagerness to inspire others, your encouragement, your appetite for improvement, and for allowing us an opportunity to showcase best practices here at GRCC. So I want to thank Armin. Thank you all for attending. Again, congratulations to all of our teams, our winning teams, our students, our faculty. So if I could ask each of the teams to kind of stick around a little bit, we'll do some photos, but enjoy the rest of your day, your weekend, and thank you.